All right, virtual wrestling fans, this is Sam Schluter, the Straight Shooter, bringing you another episode of The Shoot here. Oh, we got a good one for you. An active boxer, MMA fighter, Austin Lewis from Albuquerque, New Mexico, 27 years old, been training since he was 10 years old in boxing, switched over to full MMA in 2015, and we're just going to get right into it, folks. Hey, Austin.
Hey, how are you?
How are you, brother? Thank you for joining us. And here on the episode of The Shoot, we're going to spend the next 30 minutes talking with you, getting to know about you more. And you started training in boxing at 10 years old. How was that?
It was kind of cool. Honestly, I was a way better boxer when I was younger because I gave it up for a little bit when I was in high school, and then I kind of like lost everything, and then getting back into it was kind of interesting. Whenever I was out of high school, I guess when I first turned 18, 19. Um, my brother-in-law, he's trained with me also forever. He's held mitts for me and my sister back in the day before both of us started fighting. Me and my sister were throwing down in our living room way back in the day. I was probably like 12, 13 years old when that happened.
And did you have any little pee-wee fights when you were 10 years old in the boxing ring? Did they set up fights like that
No,
for you
sir,
guys?
not at all. I honestly didn't even really like sparring back in the day. Uh,
Oh, we're breaking up a little bit. You want to say that again? We got you on a road trip. He's on a road trip, folks, so he's breaking up a little bit, and we'll just fix that in editing. But what you were
so
saying?
my very first fight that I ever had was it was August 1st of 2014. That was my very first fight ever. Uh, what got me into fighting was, well, ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to fight. I always wanted to be a diesel mechanic. And then August 20th of 2013, my grandpa passed away. And that's from that day forward, I promised that man that I was going to dedicate my life to fighting because besides my sister, her husband, and my grandpa, they were like the only ones that believed in me and told me that if I dedicated myself to it, that I could achieve anything. So that's my biggest motivation right there is that promise I made to my grandpa 8 years ago.
And in 2015, you switched over to full MMA, and I'm sure that decision in 2013 had something to do with it. But was it just a cold turkey, just full on gear? Boxing and MMA is two different beasts of an animal.
Well, I started training at Fit and HB, and it's a mixed martial arts gym, but they have boxers, they do everything there. Um, so I've always kind of trained like kickboxing, Muay Thai. I've had Muay Thai fights before I had MMA fights. But I just really like getting locked inside the cage and just the feeling you get of that, of being
Right.
able to go anywhere you want. Like, so most people like say in boxing, if I get rocked in a boxing ring, I can't shoot a takedown. I can only clinch up with you for maybe 3 seconds. But in the cage, if I get rocked, I can shoot a takedown, and if I'm better than you on the ground, I can most likely finish that fight there. So it's just to me, it's more of an exciting feeling inside the cage. I get more of an adrenaline rush. To me, you got to use more of your. Actually, how do I say this? Because both of them, you got to use your brain either way in boxing or in MMA. But boxing is a lot harder, I feel like, because you got to use your brain so you don't get hit in return.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get brain damage.
So 2015, you got bit by the bug. You got in the cage. You had some amateur fights, and then in 2018, 3 years of doing MMA, you become 2018 King of the Cage champion for 115 pounds. So how was that experience? How did that come about?
Just training. Back in 2018, I had 6 fights that led up to that title fight, or 5 fights. The 6th fight was my title fight. I only lost one of those MMA fights that year, and
Awesome.
I honestly should have never lost it. I just lost it because I was training for more of a striker, and he wanted to wrestle more. So now, when it comes to MMA, I'm a well-rounded MMA fighter. So if you want to take me down, we can go. I could wrestle. I could do jiu-jitsu. I could box. I could throw knees. Most of my wins in MMA come from knockouts with knees to the face. So I love throwing knees.
So that was at 115 pounds. So you're still. We were talking about that before we went live. You're still the current king of the cage at 115 pounds, and you said you're having difficulty finding an opponent at 115 pounds. How is that? How's that experience? Because I know you want to get in there, you want to defend your title, you want to mix it up, but it's got to be a motherfucking pain in the ass. Like, come on, man. There's a lot of 150 pounds out there.
Well, it's kind of honestly like a super small weight class in MMA for the men. Like for women, there's a shit ton of fights out there, but there's not really too many small dudes out here. So,
There's some girls out there that could probably do it.
hell yeah, there's
it's
some
a it,
badass chicks
it's a
out there
new
too.
world. It's a new world now. You know, they're letting the women fight the men in some cases. I'm just fucking with you, bro.
Hell yeah, and honestly, dude, there like some of these chicks that are freaking like in the UFC and stuff. They're like some pretty tough chicks. I feel like some of the chicks are tougher than the men.
I've been
They show a
training.
lot of heart for sure.
I don't take nobody for granted. I've been training with some of the world class women in and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and I've been tapped out by a couple of good women in my day. So there's no shame in that. If you're good, you're good. What are you gonna say? It don't matter if you got a dick or titties. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Fucking hey, chicks are bad too.
So
That's
what
all
do
I
you
gotta say. I
what do
know
you
some bad
what
chicks.
what do you do? What do you do on your off time when you're not training fucking boxing, MMA? What are you doing? I know you got your pro debut coming up, and we're gonna get into that. But I want to know. I want the people to know more about the real Austin Lewis. You're not. You know, I'm a martial artist by trade, so I know you're not always walking around with your hands up. Come on, let's fight, let's fight. What do you do on your off time? What do you like to, spend? It was the Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Belated Thanksgiving. So how did you spend Thanksgiving and stuff like that?
Sounds crazy, but me, my sister, and her husband, we have a gym out here in Moriarty. We've had it for about 5 years.
What's the name of the gym?
Even on, it's called Elevation Boxing.
All right, all right. Elevation
So
Boxing.
even on the holidays, yeah, even on the holidays, man, we still try to get work in. We got a crazy strength and conditioning circuit in, and everybody from the gym came out, and we got some work in with everybody. So it was pretty cool.
So there was no turkey for
Then
you, bro?
I ate a little bit of steak, honestly, later on in the evening time after I worked some calories off.
Like
But yeah, me and my sister.
I weigh like naturally 125. I could get up to like 135, but I fluctuate between that. I mean, I could eat like a fucking cow, dude, and like I won't gain weight. You're a little guy like me. Don't you? Do you have that issue too, or what?
So normally I walk around between 128 and 130. Usually I can eat whatever I want, but since I'm in fight camp, I've just been trying like to stay away from like the sugars and stuff like that, just so it's a little bit easier. So because I had like a 15-pound weight cut, like, and I started that about 3 weeks ago. I'm still about 10 pounds out, but that's just been kind of watching my diet, like watching the sugars I eat, like even candy. 'Cause I'm a sucker for candy, but once I set that dotted line, now no more candy. Taking this shit serious.
Do you play video games on your downtime? Do you have a regular job?
Um, well, I was the maintenance guy for a Best Western out here in Moriarty. Before I did that, I was doing road construction. But now I'm trying to focus on fighting. Like this is my dream, so throw everything in and just
That's
go
right.
for it.
You got to go 150%. Now, your pro debut, December 4th in boxing. Ephraim Bowe is the national champion at 108 pounds. That's the man you got to defeat in your pro debut. Let us know what you think about that. How you been training for that? Don't give away your secrets, but
I've just been
mentally prepared. How have you been mentally prepared for that?
just preparing myself to give it everything I got. From the first time the bell rings to the last bell. Um, I'm going in this fight for a kill. I'm going to his hometown, so if I go to a decision, I'm losing that no matter what. Even if I beat the brakes off the kid, he's still probably gonna win by a decision. So I got to go out there and give it everything. So I'm just gonna make it a dogfight and just be in this kid's face the whole time. So I've been hitting it hard, got the cardio for it. So hopefully he's ready for the fight of his life.
So you feel like you're ready to go the distance if you have to. How many rounds is this going to be? 10 rounds?
It's only 4. That's why I say I'm gonna hit the gas right once that first bell comes out. And honestly, I feel like it's gonna be a crowd pleaser because the crowd is gonna get a hell of a show.
4 rounds. That's going to be a banger, huh? From bell to bell.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
yes,
going
sir.
to be a good one. I cannot
wait.
It's going to be December 4th is when that's happening. And how's everything going in your camp leading into the fight? We're a couple of weeks out. What are you basically focusing on? What what do you think that you have to focus on the most besides cardio?
Honestly, I've been focusing on watching because he's a southpaw, watching for his left hand because I know he's got in his professional debut he got a knockout with a straight left. But like I said, these guys are fighting chumps. They're fighting people who are going into these fights to lose. This kid on his pro debut, he fought some guy that was 0-6 as a professional.
0-6.
To me, I'm in this, not even a win in it on his record. So to me, I'm in this sport to test myself. I'm here to be the best. And to be the best, you got to beat the best. You can't just say you're the best by beating all these chumps. So, I'm out here to make a name for myself and fight the best.
Yeah, that's true. If you're gonna be in the game, you wanna face the best, and it's always an uphill battle when you're trying to make a name for yourself. What kind of fighter do you describe yourself as? Are you a brawler or are you laid back and you really apply the sweet science of boxing?
Don't get me wrong, I like to get out there and brawl, but I also like to use technique because a technical brawler will smash anybody. Forward pressure on somebody breaks people mentally. So me personally, I like to try to be that brick wall, not really brawl it out, but like I said, I'm a technician and I'm super technical. So I try to walk you down and just get it. Use head movement, use your footwork, cutting angles, but I don't like taking steps backwards.
Were you a big fighter as a kid?
I've honestly never been in a street fight in my life.
That doesn't determine nothing, but really, you never fought as a kid? I used to always get into fights when I was a kid, so I was determined to be a fighter or martial arts instructor or one of the two.
No, yeah, I did security for 5 years, and I got in a shit ton of altercations doing security, but I don't really consider those fights because they're just
you're doing your job
down,
right?
Yeah. So I've been in a bunch of stuff like that, keeping people safe, but I've never once had a street fight ever in my life.
When you're boxing versus in the octagon, do you find yourself frustrated at times? Like, motherfucker, take these gloves off. I want to grab them. Do you feel that way sometimes?
Maybe back in the day when I first started doing MMA, and I was wanting to just knee somebody in the face. But now it's got to the point where you're just you know you're in the boxing ring, so you know you can't throw a knee or you can't throw a leg kick. Because you know these boxers can't take leg kicks. They don't got no conditioning for that. So guaranteed I would smash one of them. But I don't know.
Do you feel that doing a dual sport like that, do you feel the MMA side gives you an advantage when you're into boxing? Does it help with your leg movements? Helps with your cardio? How does it give you a slight advantage, if any, do you feel?
Honestly, I really don't feel. I, I feel like each sport is hard in their own way. Like boxing is hard to box because, like I said, when you're just able to just get punched in the face, it's hard to just not shoot a takedown. Um, but then when you're like in your MMA, I honestly start getting into like a boxing mode with like kicks and stuff because like I said, honestly, I'm more passionate about boxing than I am MMA. But I I love the physical aspect of MMA. I like being able to grab a hold of somebody and choke them out, or being able to grab a hold of somebody and then being able to feel your strength. Because I get underestimated so much because I got like a long, skinny body frame. So I look like I'm skinny no matter what. But I got that country boy strength. So once I get a hold of you, you can tell I'm strong as fuck. So that's all it takes is like an MMA. That's one reason why I like Thai clinching because a lot of people, it's hard to get out of my Thai clinch whenever I go for those knees.
That's in the MMA world. So you're able to decompartmentalize when you're in the boxing world and then when you're in the MMA world. That's pretty cool. I
But
know. Uh-huh. Yeah. Did we lose you? Okay, there we go. All right, no, but it's like I was saying, it's pretty cool that you're able to decompartmentalize that. Keep your distance. Keep your separate worlds away. I know some people get a little frustrated when they're boxing, but to be a boxer, there's a science to it. That's why they say the sweet science of it. A lot of people give like people like Mayweather, they give him shit, but dude, you got to go in there and it's the art of hitting without being hidden.
exactly, a lot of people honestly that criticize Mayweather are the ones that just like to go out there and just see these bloodbaths. They just like to see you swinging. They really don't care about the technical aspect about boxing. I like some of the things Floyd Mayweather does. Uh, we got two different styles, but like I said, I like some of the stuff that Floyd Mayweather does because he is pretty freaking smart.
Who's your current favorite boxer? Or yeah, who's your current favorite boxer, and then who's your boxer of all time?
That's hard. I have a lot. Like Gennady Golovkin is one. Um, I like the welterweight division right now. It's pretty on fire. Like Terrence Crawford right now is probably my favorite fighter, boxer.
Who's who's your old
If
school favorite fighter?
uh, Roberto Duran, he's probably my all-time favorite fighter. He's a dog, bad motherfucker.
And MMA, who's your favorite MMA current fighter?
My favorite current MMA fighter. See, that's a hard one because, like I said, I'm more passionate about boxing, so I have a lot of favorite boxers that I like, but not so many MMA fighters. So honestly, like one of the MMA fighters that I really like, or two of them, would be the Diaz brothers because the forward pressure that they bring in their hands is just second to none. Um, who else?
That's a good
Uh,
pick.
Another one is freaking Kamaru Usman. He's pretty bad. Uh, and one person that I like is Thug Rose. Thug Rose she's bad.
Yeah, those are good picks. That's good picks. Now, I'm assuming when you were little, you used to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Who? Come on now,
Yes,
because
sir.
the 2KW, we are a virtual wrestling promotion, but we promote all types of fighting. We got MMA fighters, we got wrestlers in here. So when you were little, who was your favorite wrestler? When I was little, I'm like 20 years older than you, so I'm a Hulk Hogan fan. So when you was little, Who was your man?
Well, I thought this is a funny story. So since you bring up wrestling, it was funny. Before I wanted to be an MMA fighter, I actually wanted to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah, see.
And then I found out that freaking professional wrestling was fake, and I was like, "Shit, I don't want to do that no more.
Wait,
I
wait,
want to
wait,
do
wait,
real
wait,
stuff."
wait. You never
So then I
say
changed.
you never say the F word, Austin. You never say the F word. Never say the F word.
Well, I'm the type of person that like getting punched in the face. Sounds crazy, but it's a thrill in itself. Is when you actually are able to get punched in the face and you know what you can take. Because a
So
lot of people, especially in today's generation, don't know what they're going through. But to answer your question, when I was a kid, my favorite WWE superstar was John Cena.
dun, 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 dun. I was gonna say that. I didn't want to assume, but you look like a Johnson.
Yes, sir. That one was my favorite.
Now
That's funnier than shit.
I'm gonna dig deep. I'm gonna dig deep and talk shit. I see a a Denver Broncos emblem back there on your headrest in your car. You're a Denver Broncos fan?
Uh, I guess you could say that. I don't really watch football anymore. I honestly don't even watch TV anymore. But if you want to consider me, if I had any football fan, hang on, how do I say this? If I had any football team to choose, it would probably be the Denver Broncos.
Why? It was because
That.
back in the 2000s when they were winning?
No, well, honestly, my mom's always been a fan of the Denver Broncos. So when I was a kid, it was just kind of like, hey, I like the Broncos. And I honestly like Denver. Like the state of Colorado is beautiful. So,
And the weed is
yeah.
legal, so we're all good about that.
Hell yeah. It's going to be legal everywhere soon.
How do you feel
Hopefully.
that the CBD stuff and everything helping fighters? I'm all for it. I'm a big advocate of
I'm all
420.
for it too because there's like some CBD rubs and all kinds of stuff. Like, say you have a spazzed out muscle,
Yeah.
man, CBD it works like crazy. So I'd highly recommend it, honestly, to anybody. You don't even have to be an athlete. But if you got like muscle pain or anything at all, like I'd definitely recommend CBD.
Yeah, I'm a big 420 user. I smoke weed and all that, but when it comes to the aches and pains, if there's some CBD cream out there, I'll slap it on.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So we got like about 5 minutes left here. If the people want to get a hold of you from interviews like this, people want to get a hold of you to put you on a card. Maybe somebody want to contact you and be like, "Hey, I weigh 115 pounds. You got a championship." How do they get a hold of you? Maybe they want
You
to
can
go
hit
to
me
your
up on
gym.
Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
My Instagram is Austin Lewis MMA. Um, my my Facebook is just Austin Lewis. Um, and then if anybody, wants to get some training in, I got my own gym, Elevation Boxing. It's up in Moriarty.
Right. And
So
I've
we're
been
all for
like
it.
we said before, I've been meaning to go out to New Mexico for quite some time. I've been dragging my feet, plus the pandemic and all that. But once I get out there, I got a lot of people to visit, and I hope we could train one day soon too.
Hell yeah, this pandemic fucks shit up like crazy. Uh,
But
that's one thing I'm actually really happy about fighting in Texas is because Texas don't believe in COVID. So I was fucking all for that shit because I feel like the COVID is just all part of the pandemic. It's just they're trying
right,
to take over.
yeah.
So
So Texas is opening up. A lot of venues are still going at it, and that's good. That everybody's getting to some type of normalcy, especially for the fight world.
heck yeah, feels
Yeah,
freaking amazing to be able to start fighting again.
right. That's good. Did you have to go through any preliminary things that you had to do, prerequisites, for
The
fighting
only
with the
things I
whole
had to do
COVID?
is just get a couple. No, we just had to do like the COVID tests and like here in New Mexico they won't. like you have to still have your masks on. You have to either have a vax card or you have to show negative COVID test.
Mhm.
Um, so it's still kind of lame out here, but yeah, that's the
Uh,
only thing that we've had to do is just masks and stuff still.
it's just another aspect of life that we're gonna have to work through and adapt, overcome, and conquer. That's it. So December 4th, making that pro debut. We wish you luck.
Heck
You
yeah,
have
it's gonna
you
be
have all the support in the world from the 2KWE and myself, Sam Schluter, the straight shooter, and we wish you nothing but the best. And before we let you go, what's your prediction for December 4th?
honestly, I ain't gonna make any predictions. I'm just going out there to fight and have fun doing it.
Smart man. Smart
One
man.
thing, one thing. The only prediction I'm gonna make is I'm gonna give this kid the fight of his life. That's for sure. That's the only prediction. It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
All right, brother. It was a pleasure meeting you. I like to keep things organic. So when my fans meet you, I meet you at the same time. We talked for a little bit before we went live, but we do wish you all the best and thank you for spending this little bit of time with us. And we wish you all the best. And we'll be keeping our eye on you. And hopefully, maybe one day you make your virtual debut here on the 2KWE. All right, brother. Thank you very much.
Heck yeah, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. All right, virtual wrestling fans, that was it. The big fight, the pro debut of Anthony Lewis, the current 2018 King of the Cage, 115-pound champion. He's making his pro debut in the boxing world December 4th against Infram Bull, the national champion at 108 pounds. You're not going to want to miss it. All right, I'm Sam Schluter, the straight shooter. And this has been another episode of The Shoot.